Hey all, welcome to Circle of Tone. Again, I want to thank my patrons of Tone. You guys are awesome, Richard P and Co, keeping these speakers flapping. So if you agree with anything that I'm about to talk about when it comes to hardcore, crowd killing, all that good stuff, if you agree with all that and you want to support my channel, link is in the description. Before the comments, all right, because I'm telling you, the crowd killing cliques, they are actually probably amongst the worst of the commenters. They're even below black metal fans that I've broken the news to, that basically the second wave of Mayhem and Dork Throne and people like that were essentially the Greater Fan fleet of Bathory at the time. And they could barely get 100 people in a local gig. All their albums were in bargain bins. They were crap until the internet spread the story 10 years later, okay? Now, telling black metal fans that, I'm going to get worse comments from people who crowd kill, all right? Because there's a certain new character that have come in of hardcore, and they're not very charitable in the comments. They don't want to hear a lot of what I'm about to say, all right? Before you start complaining that I'm complaining.
Are you new here?
Yeah.
Are you new to hardcore? Hardcore have been complaining from the very beginning. Take the Cro-Mags, all right? They were city urchins, teenagers, squatting, in the city. They were dealing, they were mugging people, they were scratching by, they're about as spit and sawdust as you can possibly get. And people complained about them, telling them that they sold out because they did a music video. All right. So hardcore cliques have been complaining from day one, especially in New York and Boston, places like that. If there was a band from another district that was like a sports, rival or whatever, they would be hated by the local crews. All right. So there's always been cliques in hardcore. All right. Lots of factions, lots of weirdness. I'm just going to say my piece, and I'm going to complain about the state of hardcore, and specifically what's going on in Beatdown, what's going on in crowd killing hardcore, okay? I mean, violence on the dance floor is as old as time. From the Navy getting drunk, in the 20s, causing hassle on dance floor. I mean, Bruce Lee had to flee his country because he beat the shit out of like a general's son, and it was like very sketchy for him when it comes to retribution. So he came to America because he crowd killed some bitch. That was probably pulling at some girls, To the mods versus rockers, I got punched in the face because I was wearing a hoop patch when I was like 13, you know what I mean, by greasers, by bikers.
No, I didn't want to be a greaser. I don't like the way they dress. I don't like the way they look. I don't like anything about them.
They ain't grown up, they're immature. All round, that's why.
To bigger groups of what we call skinheads, they get a kicking, they come back to us and say, give us a hand out, we got kicked to bits or something. And this is how it goes on. This is how the aggro starts all the time.
So what in fact are you prepared to do in order to bring about what's becoming a mini civil war in this part of Surrey?
Well, we're not prepared to get out, because we believe we've been coming on here for quite some time now, and this skinhead bother has just started recently. And I believe the skinheads have only just started recently. At one time it used to be the mods, they're quieting down now, it's the skinheads.
Despite their love of aggro, in the words of one skinhead, we'll disappear eventually and behave like ordinary geezers.
Crowd killing is different from that type of violence. So yeah, as old as time, violence on the dance floor, there's been a lot of it. I mean, the song Rumble. As soon as rock started getting an edge to it, Rumble was banned because they thought that it promoted gang activity and gang fighting and things like that. So yeah, six strings has always come hand in hand with violence, all right? Because rock used to be spit and sawdust before guitar nerds took it over. But there is one nice aspect I want to talk about hardcore, because at least they're not snapped to a grid. At least they do tend to capture the bones of the songs live, and they're not doing the guitar nerd left and right, panned SM57, vintage 30. I could go on, but I'm not, because it's not a nerd guitar video this time. This is about, the culture, how it's changed over the past, since TikTok. You hardcore guys. I know where you saw these videos. I know you guys. Hardcore TikTok boys, right? And girls. A lot of girls. Actually, Gel were in my top played band in my Spotify list. Gel. Good band. Like, I love the drums in Gel. Girls, in my opinion, it's less fatiguing to me when the girls sing, because the boys are doing a lot of the, 2016 YouTube how to scream tutorials on gutturals and shit like that, so it's fucking played out. If I hear another goddamn vocal slogan followed by a held long chug, followed by a cymbal ding and a long snare and a breakdown. Oh, don't forget, the long snare reverb has to be on there. On every other gosh darn song, I'll scream. I'll cup the mic and I'll scream if I hear another one of these tired breakdowns by numbers. You guys, man, you were just as bad as the guitar nerds in the hardcore scene with your copy and pasting. Can you find something original? God damn. All right. I'm not going to be nice to the hardcore today. All right, because I'm disappointed. Dad's disappointed. So, like I said, violence always been a part of the rock and roll, heavy metal culture, okay? But when did we start targeting people wearing the same t-shirts, wearing the same band shirts? When did crowdkilling become a thing versus just random acts of violence like you used to get? I mean, there was always fisticuffs, all right, early in the hardcore scene, because there was a lot of skinhead culture at the time. So skinheads and metalheads and stoners and hardcore kids, early hardcore punk. Bad Brains gets mentioned so often, but it's undeniable that their gigs started a lot of the pits because they were filmed. And then that would spread on videos, and then that would spread the underground, and all of a sudden, a lot of the pits started getting a bit crazier. They were not targeting fellow fans, they were targeting skinheads, right? And crossover as well. When crossover happened, there was almost like a truce, because between the metalheads and the hardcore kids and the stoners, they actually ousted the skinheads. The skinheads were getting fucked up so often that they got scared out of. And there was like a bit of a truce during the crossover period, right? In my opinion, crowdkilling really was caused by straight edge. Straight edge were one of the earliest factions of hardcore that started targeting its own fans, all right? So if there would be a hardcore guy holding a beer, he was going to get punched. A lot of the crowd killers, you could almost see them say, "Take that, daddy," when they're punching somebody side-eyed, from behind. So it's like, there's a lot of issues like that in the scene, I don't want to get too far into the mental side of it. Early straight edge, they didn't punch regular fans that were smoking and drinking and doing drugs at the earliest time. What they do is they'd punch the dealers. If they saw a dealer that was dealing in and around the straight edge scene, they'd punch the shit out of them. All right. So that's when the targeting started when it comes to, you know, fellow hardcore fans that were selling, they get punched, right? And that then started spreading, like I say, started escalating to people that were doing hard drugs, they'd get punched. As people sharing drugs, then they'd get punched. It went all the way up the ladder and to just punching somebody for smoking in the parking lot, all right? Or even eating a burger, because a lot of the straight edge guys were vegans, and a lot of the, you'd think of, because a lot of them were Krishna. So you'd think that they would be a little bit more peace, love, and everything. And bands like Fugazi actually started slowing down and playing mellow music to stop the violence that a lot of the straight edge kids were causing. All right, so they even changed like practically genres because they were like seminal in starting to like chill out everything in the pits, right? That's from my aspect. I was more thrash guy growing up. There are credentials in hardcore. I can't claim myself to be like a hardcore dude because even though I do listen to some of it, I just know that some people are so steeped, they've lived it, they've bled it.
I mean, Vinny Stigma is the wisest person you'll ever meet in your life, whether you believe it or not. But he said something to me that was very profound. And it was when S.O.D. started to take off. And he said, Billy, always remember, we're your friends, not them. And he was absolutely correct. And to this day, I still say that to myself when I deal with these guys. You're not my friends, and I know it.
Think what you think is reality. Don't understand. It's stuff that you don't want to know. Finding out that you're better wrong with fancy.
Yes, we did. The first day we recorded, I went to the bar and got drunk. Came back to the hotel on the first day. Woke up at 2 in the morning and Scotty and opened the door. He goes, I go, how much did you get done? He goes, all of it. I go, all of what? All the drums? He said, no, all of it. You're up tomorrow. And the first thing I said to myself was, what kind of fucking record is this that they got everything recorded in one day? But I mean, speaking volumes to their commitment to their instruments. They were profoundly great players. They were really very, very, very good players and played 100% of what they played all the time. So the second day I did all the vocals.
We have the greatest intro riff from any band in metal ever.
You know what I mean? You have to have, it's almost like getting your colors in a biker gang, all right? So I know the law, I know there's the streets, and the streets are talking, all right? And they're talking about crowd killing. And what even makes it funnier, where the Krishnas and the straight edge guys, they have these links to the skinheads, man. Because skinheads would start, like I say, where did you start targeting people? Skinheads would headbutt each other in the pit. Messing around, you know, so there was targeting between skinheads. So I'm telling you, a lot of roads go back to the oi culture, all right, where it's, people don't want to hear that, because even in ska was there was a lot of skinheads interested in ska. There's the second wave. A lot of skinheads were actually into the first wave of ska, the traditional skinheads that weren't racist. And ska would have the moon stomp.
Moon stomping. Are you ready? Start stomping.
A lot of the hardcore dances have links to ska, all right? So, but I'm talking about in hardcore, when did they start targeting each other specifically? And it is, I'm telling you, it was straight edge. They started it. So you got straight edge guys. Did you like the links that you have to skinhead culture? Oopsie. It might even go further back to because I was a mod when I was a teenager, and they were skanking in, you know, mod culture with their dances. There's a lot of violence in the mod scene too, with the mods versus rockers. They literally used to meet in Brighton Beach every year to kick the shit out of each other. So it was like kind of crazy. So yeah, it started off as bravado in the mosh pits in the late 70s, really. It was kicking off. Violence, there's the punching penguins, there was the pylons, slam dance, the Huntington Beach dance, what was it, the shuffle, was it? The gorilla, the lawnmower, the windmills. You know, a good violent scene without the thuggery of punching each other. You know what I mean? It was like you see it just slowly escalate to what we have today, where you have athletes in the pits doing like fucking spinning back kicks and shit. I gotta respect that. And I am okay with crowd killing in Beatdown and certain hardcore gigs. I'm kind of okay with a lot of it. But what the pussies are doing, what isn't hardcore, which isn't hardcore cred, is the side-eyed crowd killing. The little guys that are taking a look, and then elbowing some chick in the face. All right? That is what the community has a problem with, all you little vegan fuckboys. All right? Punching people from behind, side-eyeing smaller targets than you. I mean, how is that hardcore? That isn't hardcore. That's not the spirit of this music. That's not the family aspect of this genre. I mean, hardcore, I hate to say it, is pretty emo. You know, wipe the spit from my eyes. You know what I mean? It's a lot of anguish about being raised a certain way and the rest of it. Okay, it is emo, but for jocks. All right, that's what hardcore is essentially, and it's helped a lot of people. It's helped a lot of people, you know, get out of drugs and get into the gym, and you know, so the gym helps with mental shit. You know, because there's a lot of broken homes, and I get it, man. I get it. It's actually quite a true culture of the gritty underbelly of society. It's a truly great scene. All right, don't get me wrong. I mean, even like Insane Clown Posse, I respect them more than I do the black metal second wave guys. I love the first wave guys, the Hellhammers, the Bathories. I love that because it's not contrived. Second wave is contrived, copy and paste in other people's anguish, right? And the fans lap it up because they buy the bullshit. The black metal fans, they buy the bullshit from these documentaries and books, all right? It was a clown show. The second wave was a clown show. And if it didn't have that sexy story, the suicide, the murder, and, you know, the racism and all that shit, it would not be big, okay? It's like Van Gogh cutting his ear off. Nobody'd give a shit about him if he didn't cut his ear off, all right? If he didn't have a good story, because that is what the second wave had, is a good story. So I respect hardcore, the true hardcore fans. I don't respect the side-eyed crowd killers because it's essentially sneaking somebody from behind, you know? And I see so many of these videos, man. You see them give a little look, and then they do a spin kick in somebody's face. All right, that's not hardcore. That is just frustration. That is just like sneaky little fucking just frustrated, angry children. All right, that is what it is. And I see a lot of old school guys doing it now. Just to get out their frustrations, you know, and it's like, that's not hardcore, man. Sorry. And if you want to fix that shit, the actual crews, the cool hardcore crews, what are you guys doing? Why aren't you punching the shit out of the side-eyed crowd killers? I know it's hard to spot because sometimes it's out of context. You'll see somebody literally punch somebody in the face who just did that side-eyed shit to others. All right. So he's getting his comeuppance. But sometimes if you only see him get his comeuppance, you might try and fight the guy that you didn't see the context of. So I'm not saying it's easy, but I think after the fact, some of these videos, some of the guys that do crowd kill, do target, side-eyed targeting, all right? Sneaky shit. In videos, if you see them at the next hardcore show, then you enforce. You make sure that he never wished he'd been in a mosh pit in his fucking life. So hardcore crews, you have something to do now. You have to start fucking regulating. But there's a lot of them just go in there to punch innocent people. Often smaller, sometimes girls. People are fucked up in the head sometimes, okay? So that, I mean, you drop in the ball. You got to enforce, all right? And even after, if you've got video evidence of it and that guy's a regular at the shows, you fuck him up. Self-regulate, hardcore. Come on, what are you doing? I don't condone violence. I'm joking about all of this. This is parody. Oh, this scene, dude. Now, a lot of people are not going to like this, all right? The scene is only as big as it is because of TikTok, all right? And I'm not saying TikTok isn't hardcore, all right? There's gateway drugs for everyone. But it's not about the music. What's getting viral every time, the viral parts are either a 10-second clip for one song, which is decent, all right, when the whole song is average, right? Or it's a crowd killing or a crazy head walking or a peacocking. There's a lot of, let me tell you about peacocking. There's a lot of bands setting up scenarios for these clips. That's set up. That's premeditated. That's not hardcore. That's you trying to get a viral clip. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of fake kicks, close call kicks that are set up where you've obviously got two friends that are like doing near misses and it's obviously premeditated. There's a big, even when it's not premeditated, a lot of the hardcore scene is peacocking, trying to get on the microphone, trying to get into the scene, trying to get your viral moment because they get their friends filming the fucking thing for them. All right? So there's a lot of that shit in there as well. And there's a lot of weird S&M stuff in there too. You got some of these singers, man. I think they're just like masochists.
You want to come up here? Blast me in the fucking face? I don't give a shit. Punch me in the fucking face!
Hit me in the face. I'm like, bro, calm down. You know, the emo stuff, that's getting fucking weird. And how over the top is some of this, some of these lyrics? Like,
it's a fucking brick! No one to save you! So catch a fucking brick, bitch! Like fucking
curb stomp your face, and if anyone's not moving, fucking get them. It's like, guys, your music is supposed to make people go nuts, all right? Not you telling, spelling out to the crowd what they should be doing.
I need a war zone. I need chaos. I need mass destruction. I need some fucking bullshit. Come here and kill somebody.
Your music should be moving them and going nuts. Because I remember, I can't remember half the gigs I was in. Like in the thrash days, because I was in some of the roughest mosh pits in history with Creator, Bristol Beer Keller. I ended up in hospital. My nose got smashed. I had to have surgery and shit. So I've been in some bad pits, but I see red in them, and I can't remember half of them because the music is like, oh my god, I love this band. I'm passionate about them. I've waited. I waited for this band to come over the sea for 3 years, and now I get to see them, and they start my favorite song, the riff, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm in the pit, and then I don't remember a lot of it. All right, a lot of people are like taking gimbals into mosh pits with them, and I'm like, you fuck boy, there's a problem in hardcore, man, and it's performative. There's a lot of peacocking. There's a lot of it from the fans. Fear of missing out. They want to make sure that they get their clip in the pit, and they do stupid shit as well. They're like, oh, I want to bleed. You see, like, Neopunk FM.
Do you think you guys could show me, like, one kind of unified moshing move?
Unified mosh move? We come in, hold lock arms, fucking just start this.
He almost got a small injury there, right here on this little pole. Thankfully, there's not going to be any poles in the pits tonight.
It's really the perfect height to get hit in the balls. Why do people do that here?
It's fun to get beaten up, bruised, but you get that adrenaline running. Nothing's on your mind.
It's kind of like a form of group stimming.
Yeah, I feel there's a lot of special motherfuckers that come to these shits.
Filming some of these kids saying, oh yeah, I want to get in that mosh pit, I want to bleed. And they want to bleed to take a picture of it and say, I've been in this pit of this famous hardcore band that is supposed to be so scary, right? So is that hardcore or is that contrived? It's like somebody saw Fight Club too often and thought that this is what proves you to be a man, you know? But you know what? It's a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug.
Arf, arf.
Arf, arf. What's arf, arf?
That is in one of their songs.
Counting worms.
Counting worms.
Yep.
What's the meaning of arf, arf?
I don't know. It's like a cultural thing. It's just like, it's like a phenomenon. It's a dog. I don't know.
What does arf, arf do for the culture?
I don't know. It's like it's so widely known in like hardcore now. I think that's really what makes Knocked Loose so memorable.
I'm all okay with that. And I can actually prove to you that hardcore is not about the music. Everyone's freaking out that Knocked Loose and Poppy were on the Jimmy Kimmel show, right? They got lots of attention because like people that were watching said that this should not be on TV. This should be banned. Why would you bring this band on? It was like 2 tweets. It was like 2 people complained about it. And they took that and they pretended that it was like thousands of complaints. It was just a handful of tweets. They're so good with the marketing, this band, Knocked Loose. Holy shit, dude. Respect. I can prove to you that it's not about the music. You go and look at Suffocate. It actually shows you the participation in how many people are watching it. Everybody is skipping to that one TikTok moment with that certain beat with Poppy on it. You go up to any Knocked Loose fan and say, hey, sing the first verse of this song. I'm telling you, they'll be stumped. They'll be able to do the Suffocate part. I'm a victim of this. I didn't recognize what song it was when they started, but I did know the viral clip that was going. And you can go to practically all of the disrespect your surroundings. That's where it came from. That's where it came from. The early memes that were starting to spread on TikTok during COVID, disrespect your surroundings, and then you'd have a dog like knocking over shit, right? And then kids were like, that's a really cool part of the song. That is what is propping up this this whole scene of viral clips, all right? Not long-term music. Look at all the Crowdkilling videos, all of them. The music is fucking mid. And that copycat shit that I talk about.
Suffocate!
With that certain beat and with Poppy on it. The basic breakdowns, right? And the chugging start to all the songs where it always starts with fucking guitars, right? That's what I'm getting at, is like, it's not about the music, it's about the virality of the clips. And then there's a cottage industry of hardcore clip Instagram accounts. And oh my God, if you say anything bad about Crowdkilling in that, like I say, worse than black metal fans when they're crying that I tell them that their favorite black metal band was a tubby little rich kid whose parents bought him a record store, which failed because he couldn't sell any of his records. Oh, fun times, man. Yeah, I tell you, when you get into the extreme underground, the comments get worse. I'm telling you. Especially if you point out some painful truths. Yeah, and actually, you know, karate was big in the 70s and early 80s hardcore scene. Because karate was massive. Everyone was kung fu fighting, brother. That's part of where the windmilling came in, you know what I mean? It's people would actually do karate on the outer sides of the kit. If somebody was coming at them, you kick them away from you. And that was where some of the kicks started getting a bit more tricky, you know? But this hardcore scene, man, we got like fat old men putting in gum shields and stretching before a gig. I'm like, oh, brother, I don't know, man. It's a performative sport. It's starting to turn into, you know, somebody's fucking cardio session. But the good thing, what I love about it is that I said that new metal and Seattle were the last two big guitar-based mainstream aspects. And hardcore now is probably, there's so many venues under bridges, in basements and stuff like that. So that aspect is awesome. And also the other aspect is it's not guitar nerds on rails. Guitar nerds killed rock and metal over the past couple of decades. And hardcore is starting to bring back the rootsier, the stuff that rock and metal people were drawn to in the first, because now modern rock and metal has more in common with EDM, because it's all drum machines, all drum replacement, essentially. All right, it's stuck to a grid, a lot of copy and pasting going on, a lot of forum copy and pasting for techniques of your SM57. I always complain about this on my channel, that guitar nerds have taken the Lemmy side of it out, taken the Tom G. Warrior side of it out, taken the Slayer side of it out, and Slayer got crap when they started going stuck to a click. Just like everybody else, we call it a long vanilla sausage on rails, is what metal and rock has become, right? So at least hardcore now is bringing back the spit and sawdust aspect of a counterculture. The nerds are not a counterculture. They are polishing their pedals on YouTube. All right, they are saying what do different speakers sound like, instead of just playing in a room with other savages. Corporatism was a massive aspect that killed rock and metal because of noise ordinance laws and insurance. Insurance will come into this hardcore scene, by the way. No regular venues are going to start holding these hardcore shows anymore. I give it another year before they're like, holy shit, how many girls got their arms broken? Whose face got smashed? The insurance companies are going to say, we can't have this type of music anymore, which will put it underground where a lot of it belongs. But that's going to hurt the spread of it. That's going to hurt the mainstream aspect of it. So please, kids, please stop copying your favorite band. All right, please stop copying their breakdowns. Please, the YouTube vocal tutorials of how to scream. Like it happened in deathcore, where now everything has to have the fucking zombie snarl and the overly big breakdown, and crabcore is coming back. Oh, come on. Get original. Brothers. It's how many resurgences do I have to go through? I thought the kids were going to pick up the torch, right? They haven't. Kids, come on. Stop copying. They can, write about your own experiences, for one. Write about what you know and what you love and what you hate. And get out there and try and develop your own riffing style. Try and develop your own heaviness. Maybe less targeted crowd killing, maybe less performative things from these fans that hardly listen to the actual band playing. They're too busy, trying to get their few seconds of fame by crowd walking or, storming the stage, getting on the mic. We need to fix it. And the enforcers need to enforce. All right? If you see some guy crowd killing, side-eyeing, hitting people from behind, you fuck him up you gently tap him on the shoulder in the next time you see him. All right? Enforcers, enforce, keep hardcore, and not just an excuse to smash some girl in the teeth. All right? Because I'm in my 50s, so I've seen a few mosh pits, and I know the etiquette. I've actually aged out of the mosh pit, and now I protect the mixer. That's my job now, because I get it, man. These poor fuckers were just getting their monitors smashed and shit. Actually saying that, I'm like, I still get in now and then. All right, chaps, if you like that, then please hit like, hit subscribe, maybe share it on some of your underground hardcore forums to see if people can get it, can finally get it, of the problem in hardcore. And it's not just hitting people, because I'm okay with that. If you're in a beatdown show, you deserve to get your aggression out and test your might. But you know what I'm talking about. You sneaky little fuckers that go in there with your little daddy issues. You know who you are. Have a good one. Help me out on the Patreon if you really like it. And that's it. I'll see you in the comments. I answer most of them, good or bads. See you next time. Circle of Tone.
Is it true, as one of your friends told me just now, that you do go looking for aggro?
Some of the time, yeah. If they sort of hit us and then they come again, we'll go after them. Because we don't like it. We don't want to be beat.
Go around looking for trouble, don't they? Well, we've got our differences, haven't we?